It's finally here. The video that you guys have been hounding me for, sending me messages every single day for this video. This is how to breed crested geckos and other new Caldonian geckos by PDM89. Okay, so first of all, why should you watch this video series, right? Well, I've had the luxury, I guess you could say, of working with crested geckos, gargoyle geckos, and Chihuahua geckos over the last 5 years. I've produced countless amount of animals, um, crested geckos, gargoyles, and chihuahuas. Produce all three. Countless, really, I guess, of crested geckos, gargoyles, a good few, maybe about, you know, 30 gargoyles, and then over 100 cresteds easily, and a couple of chihuahuas here and there. I've only ever worked with my one pair, or with our, because it's not just me, it's a group effort, or a group effort. We're two people. I don't know if that classifies as a group. But anyways, myself and my friend Joseph, we've bred chihuahuas, gargoyles, and crested geckos in captivity, and we have a lot of babies. That's the point I'm trying to get across, I guess. So we would like to think we know what we're doing. And I would like to pass on some of our information to you guys out there looking to get into breeding. So, first things first, when going into this video series, um, I'm assuming you guys know at least a little bit about these geckos. I'm gonna assume you guys aren't just pulling like names out of a hat and deciding, oh, I want to breed crested geckos because that's my draw. I've drawn crested geckos out of the hat. I could have landed on ball pythons, picked out ball pythons, corn snakes, or leopards, but I got crested, so that's what I'm gonna breed. No, I'm assuming you guys have actually kept crested geckos or gargoyles or chihuahuas or even Cerassonorms and Grand Terror Leachianus geckos. Because this information I'm going to give you, for the most part, could be applied to them. So, I'm assuming you know their humidity requirements, their cage size requirements, uh, what they need to eat, and their humidity requirements. So I'm assuming you know at least that. I'm going to briefly touch on all these things throughout the series, but for the most part, I'm counting on you guys to at least know that, right? Okay, so this first video, what's this first video going to be about? This video is going to be really about getting started, alright? So, how do we get started? Well, in this video series, just for the sake of this video series, we're going to start with two animals, a male and a female, right? Because if you have a male and a male, you can't make babies. If you have a female and a female, you cannot make babies. So you need at least one male and one female. Ideally, and in my opinion, you want more than one female. I would go with at least two females per male in the enclosure, but I'm going to get into that in a second. This video is just basically going to show you how to sex a male and a female, because you really need to know how to do that. I mean, you could go to any pet store um, and buy an unsexed baby, but honestly, you're going to save yourself a lot more time if you start with geckos that are at least 6 months in age, that are very easy for you to sex, to at least guarantee that you have a male and a female, so that you could start producing babies a lot quicker than you would if you started with babies. Alright, so I'm going to show you guys now how to sex the animals. So guys, this is how you sex crested geckos that are 6 months and older. Now keep in mind that some people who have been doing this a really long time, who are experts, could actually sex crested geckos pretty accurately when they're younger with a 10 times jeweler loop, basically. A jeweler loop that'll magnify the area that you're looking at 10 times. So you could see this female, even with her tail curving back like that, has a slight bulge at the base of her tail, but it's very, very small. It's basically almost flat at the base of her tail. And in between her legs, she has no obvious pre-anal pores that a male will have. Now, sometimes a female will have things that look like pre-anal pores, but a male's pre-anal pores will be much more prominent. Basically, the pre-anal pores are going to be in the shape of an upside down V between their legs. They're going to basically be little scales that have a dot in the middle of them. Those are the pre-anal pores. They're very similar to what a male leopard gecko has, except they're a lot less obvious to the human eye. But what is obvious to the human eye and pretty easy to see is the big hemipenal bulge that a male has. Now, a young male's not going to have a hemipenal bulge that's that big. And usually that's what throws people off with younger geckos, is if they don't see that big hemipenal bulge, they think they have a female. What you need to look for is what I'm going to show you right here, and that's the preanal pores between the legs, right? I believe right here you could see them pretty well. You see those basically pores between his legs, those scales with a little dot in the middle of them? Those are the preanal pores that you're looking for in males. Now, here's a male beside a female. Again, guys, unless you're an expert, you're better off to go with animals that are at least 6 months of age that you could accurately sex. If not, then I hope you're getting your animals from a reputable breeder that'll be able to sex them for you, right? It's a lot easier to start breeding when you know what you got, rather than starting out with a bunch of unsexed babies. You're going to save yourselves a lot of time and energy and money in the end if you just go ahead and buy a pair. So that's the first part of the video, guys. I hope you continue with the series and continue to watch videos. Thanks.